So I just made it to Bali. Bali is the epicenter for digital nomads with its great community of people, endless amounts of cafes, and its overall serenity. And in this series of starting my new wellness tea business, where I plan to try and publicly go from $0 to $1 million in sales, I figured Bali was the perfect place for the next phase of creating this business. Since I just spent the past month traveling throughout the mountains of India and Sri Lanka, learning everything there is to know about tea. But now, it's time to bring this tea into reality.
Welcome to Bali. So the main reason why I wanted to come out here to Bali is because I'm from New York City, where it is the most inspiring, energetic environment to surround yourself with. It can be quite difficult to channel your inner thoughts. I'd say New York is the perfect place to take an idea from 1 to 100, but not the best place to get it off the ground and go from 0 to 1. So now the plan is to adventure about an hour north into the jungle of Bali and be in complete solitude with just my creative thoughts. Also, just look at how incredible this island is. I am so excited for this ride. Mandatory stop for some ice cream. It's pretty good. So besides coming here to grab ice cream, part of my plan was to try and find a notebook because I don't want to use internet for the next 3 days that I am spending in the villa. But trying to find a notebook here is a lot harder than I thought. If you're here in Bali looking for a notebook, you may be out of luck, but you're in luck if you're looking for a bottle opener in the shape of a... Go just this. Yeah. So this villa is supposed to be in the middle of nowhere because I really want it to feel like I'm quarantining with no distractions. But it's making it a little bit difficult to find. I think it's somewhere down this pathway, through some stairs, and we should hopefully be there. Well, I made it to paradise. So first up, you have this roof deck. You have this cozy couch with the rest of this hangout area with a nice carpet, some benches, and then even a telescope. Very excited for a little astronomy class later tonight. Then if you come on down these stairs, you have your entrance to the villa. I mean, I don't know if this door actually locks, but you can also just kind of walk around it like that. And here on the first floor of the deck, you have some chairs to lay out on. You also have your classic Bali swinging chair, as well as your classic Bali net. I don't know why those things are so popular here. They're not comfortable by any means. Okay, I changed my mind. This one is actually made really well. This is the life. So I know I've only been here for about 10 minutes, but this already just feels like pure bliss. And I can't believe that I haven't done something like this before throughout my career, since it's not like this is a vacation, it's more like a solo mastermind. And on tonight's agenda, the plan is to do absolutely nothing. To just relax, free my mind, and live without any interruptions. I turned my phone off, I don't have my laptop, and the plan is to just spend some time with myself. I am really excited for tomorrow, where I'm going to be using my creativity more than ever before with no interruptions. But for tonight, the plan is to enjoy this paradise. You guys know that movie with Julia Roberts called Eat, Pray, Love, where she goes around the world finding herself and ends up in Italy to eat, then goes to India to pray, and then comes here to Bali to love. Well, for me, with starting this new business, I'd like to call it Learn, Ideas, Create, where I just completed phase 1 of learning everything there is to know about tea by traveling to India and Sri Lanka for the past 6 months. And then now I am here in Bali, where I am on to phase 2, for the ideas. This is a great place to channel my inner thoughts, have no distractions, and just be my full creative potential. Then for phase 3, I will be back in New York, where I plan to bring all those ideas to life and create it. Learn, ideas, create. I like that, not bad. So for phase 1, last night I jotted down pretty much all the important things I've learned about tea so far. And I must say, for only spending the past couple months learning about tea, I am quite impressed with how much knowledge I have and how confident I am with knowing teas. Like how all tea comes from the same plant called Camellia sinensis, so that covers green tea, black tea, white tea, gold tea, all the teas that are actual teas come from that plant, which should not be confused with herbal teas, which are technically not teas. So rose tea, chamomile teas, or any other flower teas are not really teas. I mean, they are, but they actually aren't. And that's the main reason why I've been calling my new business a wellness tea company. I want it to be made clear that this is not your traditional green or black tea. It is gonna be a tea that is organic and healthy, but also have a specific functional purpose with different herbs, flowers, and adaptogens. And as you guys saw through my India and Sri Lanka videos, I did learn so much about tea, from the different herbs and ashwagandha, green cardamom, chamomile, and all of their effects, as well as even how tea is grown and picked, and even the process of how it goes from plant to package. So I would say level 1 is complete, and it's time to move on to the next stage. So now for the brand identity of this wellness tea company. I do know I want it to be very fun, playful, and creative, and help you unlock your inner child, since that's when we weren't afraid to be our most creative. And I really do believe that I can create a product that tastes great, it gives you caffeine but doesn't let you crash, doesn't give you anxiety, and helps you unlock your full potential. I want this tea to help you unleash your possibilities. So you may be asking, what is the name gonna be? Okay, let's talk about the name. So as I said before, I've already spent about $2,000 on lawyer fees. About 6 months ago, I hired my lawyer to file a trademark. And since I didn't do my learn, ideas, create methodology, I learned that the name that I came up with wasn't the name I want to go with. So it was a pretty expensive mistake, but now I'm kind of back at the drawing board coming up with names. And it is really just the most stressful thing. I don't know how I'm ever gonna name my kid, because coming up with a name for this business has just been eating my soul alive. I will say some that I almost wanted to use, but definitely not using. So I'd say a huge entrepreneurial inspiration to me is Richard Branson. And I love the name Virgin. You know, it's something that's pure, but also something that's a little bit funny because it has to do with sex. So with the brand identity of this tea company, I know it wants to be about reaching your full potential and being at your best. So when are you at your best? When you're at your climax. But yeah, definitely not using that one, but that's kind of the direction that I'm going. Actually, speaking of names, everyone when I announced this new wellness tea company series commented how I need to call the company Conti, which is very creative, but I want to talk about why I am not doing that. So the purpose of this video, I wanted to make it to give you guys an update on the new business, my life, and take you guys along with me on this solo retreat here in the jungle of Bali. So I figured it would be a perfect opportunity to have you guys ask me some questions on Instagram, and we're gonna answer a few of them right now. And the first one being, why I am not naming the company Conti. Since the purpose of this challenge, this new business, is I want to treat it as if I don't have a social media following. I want to try and get it into Whole Foods, other stores, create an online store, and have it be its own identity. So yeah, unfortunately, no Conti. It is creative though, I'll give you guys that. Next question, how much are you spending approximately as starting investment for the tea business? So, I was hoping to do it with around $25,000 to $30,000. But already between the lawyer fees of $2,000 and then even going on this trip, which I am able to create content, so I won't fully count that, but if you were to, we'd already be looking at around $10,000. That includes like paying for Chris and all the flights and getting to go to the tea factories and all that. So yeah, already a pretty big investment. But to answer your question, I do think the more time I spend looking into the product and the market, I do just more and more believe in it, so I am willing to invest a lot more. Again, this is all going to be with my own money, and I would say it's going to be closer to around the $60,000 to $75,000 mark. So this is going to be a lot of pressure, but I am trying to treat it like a project and go into this with the mindset of just really wanting to learn, because I'd rather risk losing all that money than not going forth with this idea at all, since I believe that the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk at all. Savannah Hymuth asks, are you still working on Fortune? Fortune is my clothing company that I started out of my dorm room and then launched a skateboard line called Fortune Skateboards with pro skater Manny Santiago. And this was my first real job and being self-employed. And it ended up doing pretty well. I got it into over 100 stores, including the chain store Zoomies. But when COVID happened, and after about a couple months of just everything on back order and just losing money, in 2022, decided to shut down the company. But I do think that I needed to let go of clothing to make room for the future. Rolito asks, how you got inspired when starting your business? That's a difficult one to answer, because for creating this series of starting this new business, when I got that idea, it was the most easy thing to stay inspired and motivated. It felt like this was my purpose, that I was put on this earth to create YouTube videos around business, traveling the world, and grabbing life by the balls. And getting to encapsulate all of those things into this one series, I just felt like a eureka moment happened. So I guess to answer your question, when you're truly living your purpose, trying to stay inspired will be a thing of the past. Now the thing about staying out here in the forest is that I can go from sunny to cloudy to rainy instantly. Coming outside for some more light. Do you have a girlfriend? No. Can we see your feet? What the heck? Are you meditating? Yeah, I am a huge advocate for meditating as well as therapy. I think the two of those things are so necessary in our daily routines, or at least for therapy, weekly routines, and just helps us achieve full mental clarity. Speaking of that, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp, and they are giving you guys 10% off your first month with BetterHelp by going to betterhelp.com/BetConti or going to the link down below. I became a customer 2 years ago when I was going through a bad breakup, and BetterHelp makes it easy, accessible, and affordable to get paired with a specific therapist for your needs. So I got paired with a therapist that specializes in relationships, and after doing a couple months of therapy, I learned about all the things that were wrong with the relationship. I learned about the things that were wrong with myself and my past, and just things I never knew before. So it really did just help give me more clarity and also help me become a better person. And in full honesty, that was a couple years ago, and now I am fully past that, but do truly still use BetterHelp for therapy, and I use it now just for everything, from being stressed about business, whether it's friendships, family stuff. I mean, we are all human and are going through something, so that's why I do highly recommend trying out therapy for yourself with BetterHelp. Again, you do get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp by using my link down below, and it does also really help me out and this channel a lot. Jack Garrison asks, what made you want to work for yourself, and what made you take action on that desire? So when I was a little kid, whenever my parents would ask me what I wanted to be when I was older, I would always say, I want to be a professional Brett. I didn't really know what I meant at the time, but I would say I think I was getting at, I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I knew I wanted to work for myself and create a career that I made myself. And I think with just having a do or die mentality, that it was either become self-employed and an entrepreneur or bust. Arietta asks, how do you find a good work-life balance? And that's something I have struggled with a lot. But I would say for me what's worked is finding hobbies. So a couple months ago, before I ran the New York City Marathon, I got into running and fell in love with it. Running has just allowed me to separate when I'm working and in work mode in my mind between when I should just be enjoying life. Since as someone that is passionate about what they do, it's hard to sit still and not work. Any chance that I am free, all I want to do is make YouTube videos and work on my business. But I have learned throughout the years and doing therapy with BetterHelp that is not healthy. So I learned that life is more like a marathon, where you shouldn't sprint and burn yourself out, but rather go at a healthy pace so that you can finish the marathon. This is gonna be the last question because I am getting eaten alive out here. And it is by Monica Shifar. And she says, what countries do you go to next? So I'm here in Bali for the next month and we'll be making about 2 more videos here. And then I go off to Australia. It'll be my first time in the land down under and I am so excited. And I'm going there for the brand identity stage of starting this new business, since the branding agency that I really want to work with is based there. So I am super excited to finally get to the land down under.
Life is like a game of chess, where you must think first before you move. As logical as this may sound, it's pretty surprising how many of us, including myself, forget to consistently do this. Taking these past few days to only think before making these next big moves on my new business was more helpful than I anticipated, and I can't wait to show you guys what I have in store next. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and sign up for the T Company newsletter down below to be informed before anyone else. Until next week, let's get out and get busy in the next one.